And welcome to Module 4. This is on decision, the mastery of procrastination. This is another one of the, the module appears earlier than the chapter does in the book. And that's partly to do with some of the work that others have done. That I've noticed that actually decision making would come earlier in a process. If you consider the principles to be following some kind of a process, then decision making after desire and after dealing with fears is quite an early step, if you like. And I'll just read you a little quote relating to that. And here's a quote from Napoleon Hill, as you can see in the graphic, and it reads, "Procrastination, the opposite of decision, is a common enemy which practically every person must conquer." And there is a power to making decisions, and especially when they're happy choices, as opposed to being indecisive or making poor choices. I think if you refer back to Brian Tracy's 5 reasons why people do not become wealthy, and certainly in the study that Napoleon Hill did of the 25,000 people or so, it was one of the top reasons why people did not succeed was procrastination and a poor decision-making process. You do need a good process. And I reflect back in my life and realise choices that were made that were not so good, that were not as clear for the reasons for doing them. Another aspect of decision making was that successful people made decisions quickly and changed them slowly, whereas people with poor decision making processes took a long time to make a decision and could often change very quickly or just move from one thing to another without being decisive. It's important, I think, to look at the decision making in terms of faith and desire, and it's worth seeing how they play into one another, and we'll look at that again in a later module as well. And for the action steps for this module on decision, I would like you to read the supplemental notes and listen to the MP3 relating to decision chapter from Think and Grow Rich. And I'd like you to do a short exercise, which is to actually think in terms of burning desires. You may have already some passion projects, but I would like you to look at specifically health, wealth, and relationships, and pick out or develop a new burning passion, burning desire related to each of those 3 areas. We all have issues that we want to resolve, and I think having the burning desire and decision to actually change those things is worth developing. Certainly it's worth developing in the course that you're following here. And the last piece is, if you do have a copy of Think and Grow Rich, is to read the chapter on faith, which is for the following module.